Hello and welcome to the Galapagos Islands. It's a destination the World Journeys team absolutely love, with many of us having travelled there on numerous occasions. Our guide will tell you how to get there, when to go, what to see, and also how to experience the islands with options of cruises and land-based itineraries. My name is Davina, your Galapagos guide, and while people talk about getting up close to the wildlife out at the Galapagos, well, the wildlife's certainly not afraid to get up close to you either. So when the sea lion posed for a selfie, well, who was I to argue with him? Now, looking at the geography of the islands, which are located 1,000 kilometres off the coast of Ecuador, you'll find getting out there is actually quite easy. It's a 1-hour flight from Quito to Guayaquil, and the aircraft will stop in Guayaquil to let more passengers on, and then it's around another 2 hours from Guayaquil to either Baltra or San Cristobal Islands. Baltra is the gateway for travellers getting to Santa Cruz Island, and once you've landed, you'll be transferred to a ferry terminal where it's a short 5-minute ferry ride over to Santa Cruz, where your ship will be waiting on the other side of the island in Porto Aora. Now, don't worry too much about which flights to book. The World Journeys team have done this many times, and we'll make sure we've got you booked on the right flight to the right island to meet your cruise. So the Galapagos is a suitable year-round destination. However, if you do wish to see a particular species of wildlife, please let us know so we can make recommendations on when and where to visit. The hot season of December through to May is popular as the waters are warm and clear, which is great for divers, and also they're a bit calmer as well. Being warmer, there will be a few afternoon showers, which are short-lived and makes vegetation lush, which is great for seeing an abundance of land-based wildlife. June through to November, this is known as the dry season with cooler, rougher waters. However, don't let this put you off, as at this time of year the Humboldt current moves up from Antarctica, brings all these incredible nutrients which the young will feed on. So this time of year there is an abundance of young wildlife. It is simply gorgeous. Think fluffy blue-footed booby chicks, baby sea lions. It is just adorable. Now, this video was actually taken while I was there in August a few years ago, and it just gives you an idea as to the incredible experience you can have underwater. The archipelago is comprised of 20 islands, 42 islets, and over 250 rocks. And due to continuous volcanic activity, the islands are in a constant state of change, with new formations emerging or sinking. The shaded areas on the map is National Park, which makes up 97% of the island. The remaining 3% is distributed between the inhabited areas of Santa Cruz, San Cristobal, Baltra, Floriana and Isabela Islands. And to give you an idea of the population, there's around 30,000 residents on the islands themselves, but of course you won't find those in the National Park area. The Galapagos is known as a bird spotter's paradise, with 56 native species of birds and an additional 29 species of migrant birds. There are more than half a dozen booby species, including the blue and red-footed, with the red-footed being the smallest and the strongest flyers, travelling over 90 miles in search of food. Frigate birds have an enormous wingspan, which is over 2 metres, meaning they can soar for long periods of time on the wind currents. Most of the birds will feed on fish, crabs, squid and other marine life. However, there are many who feed on land, and like most animals, birds lead a seasonal life, mating, nesting and migrating at certain times of the year. Of course, so much of what is happening in the Galapagos is underwater, with the highlight for many travellers being able to swim with the sea lions. And I know for myself that was just the most incredible experience. And while snorkeling, you'll also see the Galapagos green turtle, which is green from the algae it eats. It's incredible where you will see them. I remember enjoying my breakfast one morning, watching one swim past, thinking what a cool experience. The islands are also home to the world's only ocean swimming lizard, which is, of course, the marine iguana. And as you can see, they're not terribly fazed by people, with this guy hitching a ride on our Zodiac one day. The huge array of marine life treats wildlife lovers to over 400 species of fish, of which 50 of those are endemic to the islands. Whilst underwater, you may be lucky enough to see whale sharks or even a spotted eagle ray. And the Galapagos is the only place in the Northern Hemisphere where you can see penguins in their natural habitat, and these are otherwise known as the tropical penguins, and you will see plenty of these. Above water, while walking the shoreline, you will see hundreds of these colourful crabs, which are great fun to photograph because of their unique look. These are known as the Sally Lightfoot crab. No, I'm not making this up. It is a terrific name. The origin of the Sally Lightfoot crab's name is still debated. Some people say it was named after a Caribbean dancer, although please do not quote me on that. But the crab has certainly earned its name because it can run very fast, leap, jump, and seemingly fly to avoid predators. A few tips on choosing your Galapagos Islands cruise. Well, each island is quite different with varied and unique landscapes, and for those wishing to see as many islands as possible, then the cruises are the way to go. They are offered as either big or small ship cruises, with big ships accommodating anywhere between 50 and 100 passengers, and a small ship anywhere from 16 to 20. People commonly think larger ships are not the way to go, however they can be a more favourable option with more facilities and, more importantly, a higher ratio of guides to passengers on board. Taking a look at a few of the ships we recommend, the Santa Cruz 2 is a newly refurbed ship accommodating 90 passengers. The cabins are lovely and spacious. There are plenty of public areas with a bar, a couple of lounges, decking space and also a hot tub. Being a larger ship, it does have a good stabilizer on board, so something to note if you're prone to seasickness. And it also offers quick access getting on and off the ship with dual zodiacs being launched when doing the excursions. Facilities on board also include a doctor, which is at no extra charge, and something that I don't think you get on many cruises these days. So a really good value add. A slightly smaller ship is the La Pinta, which is a great option if you prefer a smaller ship but you still want all the amenities on board. She has 24 cabins and is one of the most generous space per passenger ships in all of the Galapagos vessels, and also has one of the best ratios of naturalist guides per passengers, so that's around 12 guests per guide. The ship features floor-to-ceiling windows, has beautiful spacious interior which is very modern, and also the design of this ship minimises the possibility of seasickness. So I'd suggest this particular ship if you're looking for a little bit of luxury and you still want all the amenities on board, and that includes the doctor and also a glass-bottom boat. So what makes the larger ships an option to consider? Well, generally they can be more stable, which is something to keep in mind if you do suffer from seasickness. They also have more guides on hand, which means guests can enjoy multiple activities, and this will include things such as kayaking, snorkeling, paddleboarding, zodiac excursions, and also hiking. Both the Santa Cruz and the La Pinta have glass-bottom boats, which are great for guests who don't want to get in the water, but they still want to see what's happening under the surface. Now, the smaller ships will generally only have a couple of guides on hand, and this means that passengers are limited to doing the same excursions. Zodiac excursions are the most common way to get out and explore the islands and the wildlife, and it's just incredible how much you will see while out cruising the bays. The larger ships have more guides available, which means they can break up guests into English and Spanish-speaking groups, which means there's no repeating of the information. We had an incredible experience of blue-footed boobies diving in front of us while penguins and turtles swam past, and it got to the point it was hard to know where to point the camera with so much going on. Once on shore, the guides will take you to see the land animals, they'll take you to see the birds, and also explain the unique geology of the islands. In using the zodiacs, you'll find that there is a mix of wet and dry landings. Now, pictured here is a wet landing where the guides will assist you from the zodiac onto shore, and as you can see, we had this fabulous little sea lion for company. A dry landing will park up next to a small jetty or a pathway, meaning there's no need for wet feet. Now, don't panic too much if you don't think you're capable of getting in and out of the zodiacs. The guys are just incredible at making sure everyone is comfortable and will assist you as much as they can. Small ship cruising certainly doesn't mean you'll enjoy your experience at the Galapagos any less, and if you do like the idea of being on a smaller ship, the Treasures of the Galapagos is a brilliant option. She sleeps only 16 guests and all the rooms have their own balcony. The ship is a good stable catamaran which is quite comfortable even in the open waters. Now, whilst it's a small ship, it does have that luxury feel with it, with a beautiful small intimate dining and lounge area. It also has the added bonus of a hot tub up on the sun deck, and this is just a very small selection of the ships we have on offer. So if you have seen something you like the look of, do let us know and we can give you advice if it will suit your needs. Typical day out at the Galapagos will see guests exploring several parts of an island with generally 2 excursions per day, and this is mixed up with zodiac trips, hiking, snorkeling and kayaking, etc. You will be really well looked after regardless of which itinerary you opt for. All of the ships serve fantastic meals, the crew are wonderful, you'll enjoy al fresco dining while keeping an eye out for wildlife, and in the evening the guides have got some incredible lectures about what you've seen that day, and also if you feel like a late night excursion, the stargazing is just absolutely wonderful here. So rest assured you will get a very good night's sleep because they are quite busy days. Island hopping is a great way to explore the Galapagos more in depth and also suitable for travellers who suffer from seasickness. It also gives you the opportunity to spend more time on each island, enjoying more activities. Travel is done between the islands by public ferry or regional light aircraft, and there's also a good range of accommodation across those inhabited islands. Finch Bay Hotel is located on Santa Cruz Island and a great pre and post cruise place to stay, relax by the pool before flying back to the mainland. Travellers can base themselves here for a few days if they wish to do so, and you can head out and do a few day trips on smaller boats. For the island hopping, you've got a great choice of accommodation in either comfort or premium hotels, which allows you to build your own itinerary depending on how long you want to be on each island and what you want to see, and from there we can put it together for you. So the island hopping offers really good flexibility. Each of the Galapagos Islands is so incredibly unique, and both cruising and land-based itineraries will allow guests to experience this. Some islands are very volcanic with amazing rock formations, lava fields, red mangroves and volcanoes, where others have quite a varied landscape with stunning pristine beaches and quite varied plant life. Islands such as Santa Cruz Island is the only island with 6 different vegetation zones, and this is where you will find the giant tortoise, land and marine iguanas along with a variety of birds. Hispaniola is considered one of the oldest islands and features huge blowholes with rugged coastlines, and it's a great place to see the albatross doing their mating dance. And because of its great variety of seabirds, it's very popular with bird watchers. So please do remember, if there is something specific you wish to see, let us know and we can make sure we include it in your itinerary. So planning your Galapagos Islands trip, well, have a think about if you would prefer a land or a cruise-based itinerary. Think about when you would like to travel and where else in South America are you planning to visit. It's a great combination to do the Galapagos along with visiting the Amazon or the cloud forest in Ecuador. And also have a think about, what are your expectations? Which wildlife would you like to see? Which islands would you like to see? What comes to mind when you think of traveling to the Galapagos? So let us know and we can make recommendations based on our own experiences. Around 8 of us at World Journeys have actually been to the Galapagos, with some of us having visited on numerous occasions on all different ships and itineraries. So please do let us help you plan your trip. We can make recommendations based on how long you have, what your budget is, and also more importantly, what you'd like to see. Well, that's about all for now, so thank you for joining us. The team at World Journeys are really passionate about the Galapagos, and we look forward to bringing your journey to life. If you're looking for inspiration, do check out our South America brochure or head over to worldjourneys.co.nz for all your range of Galapagos itineraries and also for other ideas travelling around South America.